Welcome back. We're out on the road. Got to go get material to do up the front room. I'm remodeling the front room of the house so I can remodeling. I'm using that word loosely. I'm putting in a subfloor, fixing a couple holes in the floor, and painting the walls. It's I'm not hooking it up. Just making it livable. So I'm out on a road, gonna go get some stuff, and I was thinking, because, I sit here and I listen to Up Church in the car. I do that. It's not a put on. This morning I was checking out a video, and it looked like that lady that he got involved, that girl he got involved with, is suing him again. And there'll be a link down below to his original video. The truth of the matter is, I haven't watched all of it yet. I watched him get in there, set up, talk about her going crazy and going to sue him again. And for the first time since I started reactions, I have something in common with Mr. Upchurch. I tell everybody I'm an ex-con. I don't mince words about that. I can vote now and stuff, but I had 18 felony points expunged. I went on what they call a crime spree. Now, technically, I was only the driver in all but 2 of these adventures. But I thought I was cool, so I went out there and played robbers, and thought I was some sort of commando. Okay, that's what I was doing. And I've mentioned it before. So when the end came, a bunch of factors, a crime went south, and myself and my partner and my roommate and my girlfriend, and we all met at my mom and dad's house to figure out what was going on. My folks were gone. They either lived up at the cabin or they were down in Mexico at the time. I can't remember. I think they're at their cabin. I'd have to check. But the long story short is my partner in crime accidentally, it was an accident, but stupid, he shot my roommate. My roommate got shot right in front of me. That's horrific. But we don't need to talk about the details. It happened. Dude did not even fall over. He was a mountain of a man. And it's true that, he took one. That was the moment I called the ambulance for him and got him to the hospital, and I gave up running, if you will. Well, I got my time. I'm in prison, doing my time, and the guy who got shot decided that he wanted to get paid for getting shot. Now, this is it. I'm sorry I ramble. This is where myself and Mr. Upchurch have something in common. Because he asked a question. How can it be that they can just keep suing him? So, this is how I understand it. So, my roommate got shot by my partner in crime. They're both strangers. We were all trespassing in my parents' house. That's important. I didn't live there. I didn't have keys. I just let myself in. Now, I take full responsibility for the side of this. This is mine. My partner in crime had a trust fund he was sitting on, a big pile of money. And the guy who got shot found lawyers who would sue my parents because my parents were hardworking middle-class people who built a nice home. They weren't rich. They just built a nice home and they worked their asses off. The lawyers saw my mom and dad as the payday. Never went after the guy that shot him. They went after my parents because of the perception of money. Now, this is a different case in Upchurch. It's way different. I'm not saying it's even similar. But my roommate, me and my partner in prison, my roommate started suing my parents. And he sued them once at almost a year. Lost the case. Found another lawyer to refile all the paperwork. He went in with balls like brass basketballs and said, now he was tearing radiators out of cars for meth money, but he had the balls to go into court 3 times in a row. At least twice. I think the third time, actually, the lawyer said no. But this guy sued my parents 2 times over 3 years. He kept trying to sue my mom and dad to pay him for what happened in their house, even though he had broken in with me. But my point is, the fucking lawyers keep taking the case, even though it got lost, because there's, I guess, precedent saying they can relitigate. They took a shot again. Then they tried a third time, and the lawyer, actually, if I remember correctly, contacted and basically couldn't get a lawyer to take his case no more. But as long as I'm no expert, but as long as there's crooked lawyers and that person perceives you as their oppressor or payday, yeah, this shit's set up like garbage, man. I think they can just keep re-suing you and suing you, right? As long as they want. As long as there's no loophole that makes them stop. And then eventually I'm thinking they can't get a crooked effing lawyer to take up the case anymore. And then there you get to be done with it. But I don't even know nothing about his Upchurch's story enough, but I'm guessing that worthless woman just thinks he's a payday. And my gosh, my hurt feelings deserve compensation. I'm a little salty because I listened to it and it instantly brought me back to dude going after my mom and dad over and over. And this is not a threat. That was years and years ago. But for many years, I wanted retribution for that. Now, I didn't take it because I think that's wrong. But I'm not going to lie, I wanted it. Because my parents would come up to visit me and they would tell me, hey, we went back to court, we're getting sued. That guy, he claims he's going to be a jet airplane pilot. I'm like, he was ripping out radiators and cooking meth. No, he told the judge he was going to be a commercial airline pilot. There was the gimmick. So he just made up, whatever he wanted. Just made up whatever he wanted to say to get that payday. Now, it didn't work. Like I said, it didn't work. But it was years of my parents' life. And they're just, like I said, they're just, maybe upper middle income, hardworking. I mean, they busted their ass. They saved correctly. It looked like a payday. But, I broke into my own folks' home, so thank goodness I was not supposed to be there. And we reconciled all that. And my parents, I don't Problem is, I just wanted sanctuary, you know what I mean? I wasn't really taking anything from my folks. I just wanted a sanctuary to hide, because they were, it was the middle of a 3-county manhunt that made it to the newspapers. That's not cool. But if I had to wiggle any sort of clout, I'm in the same ballpark as a lot of these guys. I wasn't a petty criminal. I was an insane criminal. That's why I think I get so uppity sometimes when I'm dealing with detractors. I think regular average folks, and maybe I think this may be why I'm going to take a shot in the dark. I don't think I know nothing about Ryan Upchurch. But maybe he gets uppity and this gets to him because it turns out all the success and all the stuff, that doesn't take away people's ill will. And when you try to give nothing but, from what I can tell, pretty much the good back to the world, and you get nothing but these basement warriors, keyboard killers, positive, that they know better, and very little life experience to be weighing these aggressive sentences against. Now, what can I do? I can't stop anybody from doing anything. I can only engage in my own right of self-preservation. And that's handed down from God, not the government. So we won't have to debate that in the comments. But in the end, I'm responsible for my safety, nobody else. I'm responsible for all this shit, nobody else. I'm the captain of my own ship. So every time I hit rough seas, I gotta tell it to the crew. I gotta share it with my people. I think that's why Upchurch does what he does. Because if you take it to heart, maybe it makes you nuts. And if you vent it out, well, I don't know. I watch enough of it that I think he understands how to vent out some of his stuff and not take it to heart and get it to fester. That's the deal. You just don't want the negative festering, growing into something destructive. Because there's some from the top to the bottom. Self-destruction is a real thing. As I smoke. Sorry. Cute. Other than that, I think. Oh yeah, there we go. I'm just literally waiting on a phone call to pick up my supplies. I probably rambled enough. But yeah, I just couldn't believe it. I'm like, oh yeah, that sucks, dude. Fuck. I gotta probably learn. Well, I think I know enough. This is just a jilted chick thing, right? Here, I do have one question for the comments. I suppose it'll be Mike. I'm probably the only person who made it all the way to the end. Hey, I make 20-minute videos, and my average view time is 4.5 minutes. So there you go. There's the answer. I've never been disillusioned. I've never pretend that anyone but the bus riders, and forgive me when I miss some people's names, because I know a lot of you are along for the ride much more than, but Mike definitely has got the most to say, so I'm guessing he makes it to the end. Now you yap so much I forgot the fuck I was going to ask. Oh, he ain't done nothing. He didn't do nothing to her, did he? Is there any... I don't know. It's not my business. I just don't seem like the kind of guy who... I saw enough video, that bitch seemed crazy. I ain't said her name, so I don't think. She seemed nuts. I'm just... If he ain't done nothing, then all he has to do is weather the storm, I would think. Especially if you already beat it once. This is just that petty shit, I think. That's why I told my story. Because, you know, I'm not saying dude didn't get hurt in my folks' house. Now, he made a full recovery. He was never going to be a pilot. But he used all of that as reasoning to bring false lawsuits against my parents. And this happens all the time. I was guilty. There was plenty of people who weren't guilty in there. I wasn't 9 years guilty. And once there was plenty of people who had a long sentence. Oh, yeah, it's hell. I don't justify anyone killing someone. But it's ironic how murder... I'm not talking about gang violence. That's different. That's a lack of respect for life. But otherwise, most of that is a crime of passion and would never have happened outside of that one scenario. And I knew a lot of those guys, and it's just weird. It is. It's really weird. I'll have to condense this down, obviously, because like I said, I might have a 4.5 minute view time, but I got a 20-minute thought pattern. In the end, it just comes down to that's how long it kind of works for me. All right. Yeah, we'll make it a little bit shorter than that. I really want to get these chores done and get back to some work. Yesterday was a amazing day. But yeah, I guess I'm just wondering if was there any time he lashed out or did something that he'd have to worry about that we as internet users could find out. I'm not talking about some hearsay. We're talking about court now, so hearsay and all that shit doesn't work. Doesn't stand up, so I wouldn't care. I don't care what the rumors are. I'm just wondering. Well, I hope all his rhetoric has always matched his style, and right now I feel like, man, I just hope he weathers his storm. I'll find a way to condense this into something not so yappy. All right, later.